here's the ugly truth when it comes to innovation. Most people at work do not want innovation. And that's a huge stumbling block if we are an aspiring or a seasoned pro innovator. And that's the reason why in this episode, I'm going to unpack a number of ways that we can identify those stumbling blocks that can occur when we're trying to get people to innovate or push through an innovation ourselves, and some simple ways that we can overcome them so that not only do you become sought out, accelerate your career and get better results at your organization, but you get more joy in your day-to-day work.
Welcome to the Nils Vesk Show, where every episode is designed to help you think faster, solve problems creatively, and generate breakthrough ideas to catapult your success.
So the number one challenge that we have, the ugly truth of innovating, is that there are people who will do everything to sabotage your innovation because they frankly are scared of innovation. Now, this isn't just my anecdotal evidence of having thousands of people and working in this field for 2 decades. It's actually backed up by some research by Dr. Heidi Halvorson Grant. He used to be one of the professors at Columbia University, an awesome author and thought leader in that motivational space. And one of the things some of her research revealed was that what we call our motivational preferences. And what Grant realized is that at home, in our sort of like day-to-day lives, we have one of two preferences. We either have what's called a promotional motivation preference, or we have a prevention-focused motivation. So promotion-focused motivation is all of the things that we can win, gain, enable us, better product or a better service and the sort, things like that. Whereas prevention-focused motivation is what are all the ways that we can avoid a mistake or something bad happening. And that's split in the population when we are away from work, when we're at home, is 50-50. Now here's the really interesting thing. When we get to work, that splits to a 90-10 rule. And that is that 10% of us, or 1 in 10 people in your work, are motivated for what we call promotion. They're motivated for things that will give them gain or wins, successes. What are all the ways that we can increase our revenue? What are all the ways that we can create a new product, a new service and the sort? While the other 90%, or 9 out of 10 people in your office, your team, will be going, what are all the ways that we can avoid making a mistake? What are all the ways we can avoid risk? What are all the ways that we can make sure nothing bad ever happens? And so why that's so important is that if you're in an organization either trying to drive innovation or suggest an innovative idea, you've got to understand most people are saying no. And the reason why most people are saying no, or they want to go the other way, or they're going to fight you and say this is why it doesn't work, why we shouldn't have it, is that we have a negativity bias. Now I'm going to lay some neuropsychology on you, but essentially, the human brain for millions of years has evolved into this concept of being able on the threat for lookout. So if there is a potential risk, brain goes limbic, brain goes danger, 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 fight or flight, take flight or run. And unfortunately, not necessarily true, but most people have an inherent belief, not necessarily true, that innovation has to be risky, dangerous and uncertain. Now, some of that kind of old limiting beliefs is based on past experiences and sort. Now, I know our students or our clients know that innovation does not need to be risky in any way, shape or form. That can be eliminated in validation. We'll talk about that in another episode. But essentially, that's the limiting beliefs that are going through their mind. Why this is important is that we need to know when you're pitching an idea, you're looking at an idea, that's what's going through their mind. Risk, uncertainty, potential career plummeting, career move, could cost us money, could cost us time. So we counter that by making sure we address those different things. Another thing that we can do is to change the language that we use around it. So quite often I've run innovation programs for companies where we've just called it a process modernization day or a process improvement. I once wrote an ebook, I think it was like 120 ways to call innovation something else, because there is such a hang up around the word innovation. So hopefully that's making sense. So you understand that 9 out of 10 people will be against your innovation. So you just need to use some strategies to overcome them. All right. The second thing when it comes to one of, I think, the ugly truths of innovation is that more often than not, we have way too many ideas. If we're already innovative or we feel we've already learned things, we're probably going to have a plethora, an overload of ideas. And that can make it really difficult for some people to focus on what is the most important thing that they should be focusing on. Which idea is going to give them the biggest bang for the buck? And one of the ways you can get through that is having a strategic way to assess your ideas. Or if you don't have a process, some of those things we share in our programs, if you don't have a process, you could always ask yourself a question like this. What's the number one idea that if executed will make life either easier or following task unnecessary to do? So I'll just say that again. What would be the number one idea if executed that will make life either easier or extra tasks unnecessary to do? So that's a question that we can use to help focus our attention on which idea might work. To be honest, I use a very similar approach in my time management and my planning for the day. At the start of the day, I ask, what's the number one insert topic, marketing activity or process improvement activity or sales activity I need to do today such that everything becomes either easier or unnecessary for me to do. It just helps you to polarize, get very clear about what you should focus on. So ideas. As many ideas as you have, you still need the great ideas, but to get the great ideas, you're going to need lots of them, but then pare it down to your top little list of ideas. Cool. The third ugly truth about innovation is that more often than not, as an innovator, as a creative thinker, as a change maker, we are very excited about it. But we might find that other people are pushing back and they're not as excited for you. One part of their mind is saying, this smells like hard work and more work for me, so we need to be mindful of that one. And then two, the other one is like, this person's grandiosing, they're show ponying, they're going to try and steal all of the limelight, and it's all about me, and me. So we need to be mindful of those things in our excitement, that we try and being energized and excited about things, okay, but we need to make sure we're including other people around us. A simple way that we can do that is to use what we call inclusive language. Why this is important. So if I start saying, hi, I think that blah, 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 I know that the big challenge is I want us to do this. You're going to go, who is this dictator? And funnily enough, that's called dictatorial language. It doesn't work. Or if we're going, you need to think that this is a problem. You're going to need to look at ways that we can change this problem. Or your problem is X, Y, and Z. They're going, whoa, who's that accusing me of something? It's accusatorial language. No one likes that. But if we shift to a language that's more inclusive, we, us, ours together. So I think something that we can all agree on is that a challenge that seems to persistently pop up that can cause us grief from day to day is the problem with the blah, blah, blah onboarding process. And if we were totally honest, it would make sense that we could identify blah, 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 blah. So we, us, ours together feels like they're part of the conversation. It's not like you're, showboating yourself saying it's me, me, me. It's getting everyone involved and feeling like they're a part of that conversation and that part there. So hopefully that felt natural and it makes sense. A little bonus thing that you can do is to be clear about what roles or what activities might be involved with other people in terms of the workload, because the last thing that we want people to do is to think, oh my God, they're already busy, they're already under pressure. is to identify that and say, hey, we know that a lot of people have got activities on their plate and there's a lot of pressures and deadlines for our quarterly targets. The good news is we can probably get this done within as little as 10 minutes every day. And to make it seamless, what we're going to do after we do our morning huddle, we're going to just spend 10 minutes to identify those things. No more. We're going to deadline it so that we don't take out other people's important times to do things. From little things, big things grow. And the same is with innovation. We don't need days and weeks and months. We just need to find the little times to fit into the patterns or the behaviors or the routines that people have already got. Add it at the end or just after something that is already a routine. So there you go, my friends. Some really simple ways for you to be, one, mindful of the ugly truths of innovation, but also, most importantly, some ways to overcome it so that you can become more sought out for your thinking, that you can think on your feet faster, and you can catapult your career and your business results by thinking creatively and thinking innovatively. If you like this, you might want to check out one of my books, The Reinvention Sprint is one. You can check it out at thereinventionsprint.com or at Amazon. Hey, and if you like this episode, please show us some love. Put a tick there, give us a heart, give us a thumbs up, whatever it might be. Thanks for tuning in, appreciate it, and I would love to know what you want me to talk about next, because I'm here for you. See you next time.